Hey everybody, I want to thank the people on my channel who cheered me on to keep going. I appreciate the support. I've been getting hit hard lately, and I just went and soaked. I've been in and out of soaking in worship all day, and I don't know if it was just the prayers of the few people who prayed for me or what, but I felt God's presence. And the point that I want to make, well, there's a couple points that all kind of tie together, but so my personal relationship with God, you know, we've all got our own junk, and it's like a double-edged sword with God. He will, you know, God knows what's gonna keep you close to Him, like a good father. And some of us, such as myself maybe, some of us kind of need to be repeatedly drawn to the end of ourselves, so to speak. I guess that's how people put it. You could also phrase it as just coming to your wit's end, losing your mind. But maybe that's the thorn in my side. But I just wanted to make the point of, if you can try, don't be like me. And if you are like me, try to look at it this way, that God will allow you to, in a sense, be kind of tortured or brought to your knees so that you remember, like, not just mentally, but in your heart, how much you need Him. How much He is the only hope. He is God. He is Savior. He is Deliverer. He is Healer. And no matter how much your soul, your flesh wants what it wants, His love is the best. He's the only one who's omniscient, omnipotent, you know, omni-everything. He's the only one who comprehends you like no one else will. He's the only one that will always be with you, guaranteed, no matter what. And His love is perfect. And I guess God allows my existence to circle back around to not having anybody, and then I throw a tantrum at Him and I act out and whatever. Not like I used to, I mean like just acting out in the sense of kind of like crying out, but I'm done acting out like I used to when I was young, because I've just learned too many times the hard way that doing stupid stuff is stupid. But you know, God will only do that. He will draw you to your knees only if you kind of force Him to, I guess. And that's, I guess, what I do with God is, it's not that I'm like, it's not that I've like gone astray, but it's like He has to remind me how much I need Him by leaving me with nothing else. Because apparently I don't fully go to Him until I get to that point. And I guess my prayer for myself is that I stop being that way. But, so, that's I guess the point I want to make is, try not to be like me. And if you are like me, try to look at it that way. Try to see that it's God's way of loving you. It's God's way of being merciful. That he knows that your heart is tough to get through to, and that you need to be broken, stretched, tormented in a sense, to remember that you need to enter into the Holy of Holies. You need to enter into his presence. And I don't know, for me, most of the time, it seems the only way that I seem to fully, enter into his presence is when I'm in pain, when I'm broken, when I have no hope left in any other direction, when I'm just empty tank, when I'm just like not even running on fumes anymore. So try not to be like that, but if you are like that, see it for what it is. It's that God allows that to happen so that when you finally fully come to him, you are renewed and you are refreshed, at least to some extent, when you enter into his peace, you're reminded of, like, there's nothing like his love, and ultimately he's what matters. Ultimately he's what matters. Nothing else, no one else. And I don't like to be cliche. I don't like to say stuff that like a million other people have said, but there really is something to be said for, just worshiping. But, worship, the true definition of worship is whatever you are prioritizing above everything else. Whatever is first in your thoughts and your efforts, and that's what worship is. And so really, if anything else has that spot besides Jesus, then that's idolatry. Worship isn't just music, but there is something to be said, obviously, about that avenue of worship. And I know a lot of people have said, even if you don't feel like it, just do it. And that's been my problem. The Lord has been calling me to worship for probably a month or more, and I'm just like, yeah, and because I'm so stuck in my head. I don't know if that's no, it is an INFJ thing, but, and so the Lord has to let me spin all my wheels until they all kind of crash into each other and burn, so that I'm forced to go out of my head and into my heart, if that makes sense. And that's, I get mad at him and I resent him for that, but once I finally make that shift, I can see how much he loves me. I can see how merciful he is. So, anyway. Try not to be like me, but if you are, see it for the mercy that it is.